kid from the country roads outside of Gillette, Wyoming, has landed his dream job in Laradice. He's eager to meet the challenge of reestablishing the pride of the Wyoming men's basketball program. Hi, everybody. Welcome back for a final time to Las Vegas. We are pleased to be joined by the Wyoming Cowboys, Sundance Wicks, new head coach, Kobe Newton and Cole Henry. Appreciate you guys making time for us. Let's talk about the job here, Sundance. This is, by all accounts, your dream job. You're a Wyoming native, so that's a given, but why? Why is it the dream job?
Man, that's a heck of an intro. Best intro I've had. So why don't you just become a Wyoming Cowboy for us right here? We'll make sure that you just come out of here with some swag. They call me the merch man around campus. The merch man can. I'm always running around with different swag for everybody. So that's even better right there. That's what I'm talking. Like, you're riding for the brand right now, big dog.
I dig it. I appreciate it.
You said the country roads at Gillette, Wyoming, man. Forest Road, 426 Forest Road, man. You know, when you're born in the brown and gold, and your mom and dad put you in a jumpsuit, 6 months old, and you got to go through this whole process. Life has a funny way of working out, right? If you just continue to work out. And you never sit there and dream or want or think like this is going to happen. You just go do the job wherever you're at, the best of your ability as an assistant at Wyoming or whether you're at Green Bay. And then the phone rings, you got to answer, right? We talk our kids as a metaphor for life, right? The phone rings, you got to pick it up and answer it. You never know what's on the other end. And when Tom Berman called and said, you got a chance to be the Wyoming basketball head coach, you're going to think about it for a cold, hot second, and then you're going to make that decision real fast. Because when that door opens, it closes real fast, and we were going to let that opportunity pass, come back to Cowboy State.
Kobe, you're a guy that is one of the guys that's the stayover that was there before Coach came aboard, appeared in 20 games. Was it a comforting moment when a guy like that comes in, been there, bleeds Wyoming brown and gold, and is passionate about the program?
Absolutely, because there's some familiarity with it, and he knows what the state of Wyoming is about. He knows what the people of Wyoming is about. And like I said, I mean, I just needed one meeting with him, and I was all in. I mean, I had no doubt in my mind that I wanted to be and continue to be a Wyoming Cowboy, and he's about everything I'm about, so I was just excited to be able to come and play for him.
Coach, the book on Kobe is a guy that is an excellent defender, oftentimes gets the challenge of locking down the best scorer on the other side. What have you seen from him that excites you the most about what he can do for you?
He's a sniper. He's a sniper. But I got two seasoned guys here with me, right? Yep. Cole and Kobe. You guys have been 6-year guys. I love dudes with journeys and dudes with scars, the guys that haven't had it all sweet, not all sunshine and gumballs. So I think it pays dividends when you got guys like this who can carry your culture and who are crusaders for your program, and that really embrace being Wyoming guys. I think that's a huge deal. And so for him, obviously his weapon, as people talk about, he can shoot the crap out of the basketball. He can light it up from the outside now, and you got to have that gap gravity. But being able to take on the challenge of guarding the other team's best shooter and other team's best player, and being that guy every single night, like, those are jobs that nobody wants, and there's auditions every single day in practice for those jobs, right? And it's kind of a specialist now when you got somebody who's willing to take that challenge. And what's crazy is that the numbers never really, when you guard other teams' best players, it's not like your defensive metrics pop off because you're trying to stop somebody who's really good from just doing what they do really well. And so if your numbers aren't great, you got to look behind that. What we do when you watch the film is you see that he harassed guys every single night and took that challenge on. And 90% of that just showing up ready to guard, ready to work your butt off every single night to make life miserable for them and make them less efficient than they usually are. And Kobe's, man, he's done a great job with that, and he's doing it every single day for us as well.
Cole, you had a chance to go anywhere after your time at Northern Iowa. You're going to go play for your dad, which would be a fitting and fun way to finish your college basketball career at William Penn University. But you pull the old switcheroo and you decide, you know what, I'm not coming to play for your dad. I'm going to go play for Sundance Wicks at Wyoming. Why?
You know, I talked to him a lot about that because, you know, my career at UNI was coming to an end, and I had 1 year of eligibility left, and I thought, you know, I was going to go finish it out with my dad. You know, that was kind of my dream as a kid. Before I grew to be 6'9", I always thought I was going to go play for my dad, you know, in Oskaloosa and be, stay at home. But in the portal, Sundance called me, his staff called me first, and the energy was just so contagious, and I fell in love with him right away. And you know, I talked to my dad a lot about what the right decision was for me and for my family, and you know, I have a fiance, so coming all the way out to even to Green Bay would have been a tough one. But he told me, you know, don't come play for me, man. Go live out your dream at the Division I level. Go play for Sonny. Learn how to be a coach. So a lot went into it, and he was a big person in the decision to tell me not to play for him, actually. So, yeah.
That's great perspective, and I'm sure you're appreciative of that, Coach. I understand also that Laramie kind of fits what you like outside of basketball? Mountains, fishing, like what about the community and Laramie really, when you arrived there, said, this is it?
I'm a small town Iowa kid. I love to fish and hunt and be outside. And you know, when you go to Laramie, you trade the corn in Iowa for the mountains in Wyoming, and it's just beautiful. It's breathtaking. You know, when I got there, I was just so blown away by the scenery, and you don't get that where I'm from, and the people that I come from. Then we don't get to experience stuff like that, you know, the mountains and stuff. So it was an incredible experience on my visit. I just realized that this is going to be home, and the people feel like home, and the atmosphere feels like home, and I love fishing up in the snowy mountains. So yeah, it's awesome.
Coach, you came in May and really had to hit the ground running. I mean, time was of the essence, and it was wasting every single minute. You go out and sign 10 guys in 27 days. How challenging was that, and how fulfilling was it when you reached the finish line and say, we got our roster now?
Man, last job in the cycle, right? And last puppy of the bull. And so you're sitting there and you're wondering, what can you do here in just 27 days? Well, Green Bay was a great trial run for us. We signed 10 guys in 52, 53 days at Green Bay. Then we ended up coming back to Wyoming. And what we do is we recruit the person more than the position. I mean, right now our roster may not be the ideal roster for anybody. We say we got 4 men that are 5 men and 5 men that are 6 men. And so, you know, we're going to be playing Smash Mouth basketball, trying to play early 90s, you know, Rodman, Bill Lambier, bad boy Piston basketball down there. 3 out, 2 wins. Going to basically everybody that loves modern basketball is probably going to criticize us up and down the game script, but we're going to love it, man. Bruised, battered, and bloody down low. That's how we are. And for us to be able to put this roster together, we knew that we had to have size to compete in the Mountain West. Mountain West is really big on average. And so we're going to be one of the top teams from a size standpoint in the 4 and 5 position because our guards don't have the size consistently on average that every other team in the Mountain West does. So we got to have an identity of that down low. Defend, rebound, take care of the basketball, keep the flow. And so to be able to have that prep work at Green Bay, to be able to translate that here at Wyoming, get the guys that we wanted, and the guys that are back home in Laramie, the human beings that we wanted, so we knew we could have a locker room full of consistent, accountable guys. And then our culture could kind of expedite itself from a connected and competitive standpoint. And that's where we're at in the process right now, getting ready to strap them up.
Sounds like this roster could maybe double for Jay Savell and the football team. Just strap them up and be physical.
Oh, man. I mean, we're going to just start making a T-shirt to say win the A-gap.
Kobe, to have a guy that has navigated through the Mountain West and already knows at least some sort of a blueprint for what's ahead for you guys, that's a big value, I think. What comforts you about a guy who has already gone through a Mountain West schedule, has seen what it takes to match up with the San Diego State, of Boise State, of Colorado State, the list goes on, the teams that made the NCAA tournament last year, because there were 6 of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's great having that experience because you kind of know what to expect, but then at the same time, almost everybody has a different team. You know, I think out of every team in the Mountain West, you know, I might be wrong. I think UNLV returns the most guys, and so everybody's going to look a little different than they did. But at the end of the day, that physicality, the skill, the talent, the athleticism that's in the Mountain West, it remains the same. And for us, it's just going to be important for us to try to match that every day, like Coach said. You know, be the most connected and competitive team on the schedule. If we can do that, I think we'll give ourselves a chance in any game. Because at the end of the day, it's not always about talent. It's about who can stay together through 40 minutes. Because you know, we're not going to be a team that's going to go on these big, you know, momentous runs. We're going to be a team that grinds you out over 40 minutes, and then at the end of that 40 minutes, you're going to feel it, and you're going to be like, wow, you know, we really had to strap over these guys for 40 minutes, and so, yeah.
Cole, give me the scouting report on what you have liked at practice so far, because again, guys around the Mountain West, fans around the Mountain West won't know the key players, but give us some insight on to what we can expect and who some of those players are that we can expect to be big-time players for the Cowboys.
You know, Kobe's touched on it a little bit, but the physicality. You know, I play the 4-5 position, and after practice, I'm definitely sore. And it's not just age. I mean, I am old, but
I feel it.
You know,
me too.
But down there with Scotty Abube, especially, you know, 6'8", 260, just a mammoth, so strong, so athletic, and physical. Oleg is 7 foot, block your shot, be physical with you down there as well. Abu will get any offensive rebound. You know, so our size and our physicality and our toughness is a big one. But you know, I think the biggest thing for us that we can have an edge on is our, you know, our experience. We're a very older team. You know, me, Kobe, I'm turning 24. He's 24. We have a few other guys that are older than us. So our experience at this level is going to show, hopefully. And you know, I think that we have a lot of good things to show this season.
Coach, last year there was a player on the roster that fans fell in love with, and it was a Quokot. and a guy that came from the Division II level, an RMAC player. Well, you got a guy that kind of follows in that little path right there in Obi Agbum from Fort Lewis College, was an all RMAC player, was committed to the previous staff, had to re-recruit him. Again, there was a guy that followed this path. It was a successful path. What about Obi excites you?
Man, we love Obi. Obi-Wan Kenobi, man. That's my little Star Wars Jedi right there. Yeah,
I understand.
Obi
Got a son named Skywalker?
Oh, yeah.
No
you know,
problem.
Star Wars nerd over here, nerding out right now. Yeah, Obi-Wan, man. Obi-PG-1. He's special. I mean, he's been probably, from a guard standpoint, like one of our most consistent guards over the course of the summer through now, just being able to be available and then be able to be productive. We chart a lot of stuff in practice from our general manager, Patrick Stacy, but he's consistently been atop of the assist-to-turnover ratio. He's leading us in scoring in practice. He's got to be an everyday dude and every night kind of guy. And he's going to have to be able to carry the weight of being a quarterback, right? You got to be able to lead the team, make the right decisions. And some nights you may lead us in scoring, but other nights you may lead us in assists. And that's just going to have to be the load that he's going to have to carry. He's a special human being with an immense level of talent and ability. And I love that he has a chip on his shoulder to prove that he belongs at this level. I think that's what's unique about all of the guys on our squad is everybody's coming from a situation where they still have something to prove. And this isn't a stopping spot here. Wyoming's not a stopping spot for people that have made it. This is a proving grounds for people that want to.
Yeah.
And that's who we are.
Been a program that's made the NCAA tournament here recently. Kobe, give me some insight on Dante Allen, a 6'6" shooting guard, former Mr. Kentucky basketball in 2019, has played against and with a lot of NBA talent. On paper, that's a guy that you would want on your team that could probably do some damage.
Absolutely, and he shoots the absolute heck out of it. And he's a problem for guys, especially inexperienced guys, because he moves a lot. He moves well without the ball. And so if you take your eye off him for a second, he's going to pop up open somewhere else completely different on the court. And having a guy that challenges me as well in practice and pushes me to work in practice, it's rewarding. Because when you don't have anybody pushing you in practice to be better, you can't really grow. So having somebody that's consistently pushing me in practice, challenging me to be better every day, it's a blessing.
Coach, the schedule that you guys have here for the 24-25 season, 5 home games in non-conference play. You got some true road games against some tough schools. You get a chance to go to Cancun, so that's a pretty exciting thing. What do you like most about your non-conference schedule?
Well, we try to put together, and there's no such thing as balance in this life, in this profession, but a balanced schedule for our team, because we need to find out who we are at neutral sites. We need to find out who we are at the road, on true road games. We need to find out who we are at home. You can't just play every game at home. You can't just play every game on the road, as you well know. I think Cancun's a little sweet trip for our boys. That,
darn right.
You know, you get out of Laradise in the middle of winter. That's not a bad thing, right?
No.
But that tournament's a chance, and you like to have those little in-season tournaments where you can go show, all right, can I go win 2 games in 2 days? Can I go compete for a championship? You got to get a taste of that early on so you can be ready for it later in the season. And so I think what this does, the schedule prepares us really for the grueling 20-game Mountain West schedule that is, and starting in December 4th, right, at Utah State in the Spectrum. So there's no cupcakes here, and everything's going to be earned. And I like what Coach Monahan has really done with the schedule. And scheduling nowadays is super hard. I don't think people understand how hard scheduling is. And so to put a schedule like we have right now together, it's really good for our guys. It gives us a nice balance and a unique mix of different games. Even at BYU, in the Delta Center in Salt Lake is going to be an awesome experience.
Well, your enthusiasm is infectious. Got the right guy for the job, the right guys to get this program and continue a track. Appreciate your time. Welcome to the league, and good luck to the Cowboys.
Go Pokes, baby.
Thank you for having us
Go
on,
Pokes, right? Here we go, right there.
Yeah.
How do I look? Right there.
That's a
all right. There you go.
High level.
The Wyoming Cowboys will tip off the season against Concordia University St. Paul on Monday, November 4th.